Really thought of it like that, Itsu. That is a fantastic point. But here we go. Unicorns of Love starting us off, and it's the Inferno Dragons, which we've seen such success with last war.
That's right. I already said a couple of times, this is right now, I feel like the strongest attack strategy in Clash of Clans, but I feel like this attack is not looking, or like not starting as good as most of the others, because I feel like the Inferno, the Electro Dragon on the outside did struggle a little bit with the final, and we have a lot of Inferno Dragons drifting to this top side, which you normally do not want to have. You want to have this wave of Inferno Dragons through the core, and now it's getting to be really tricky, especially with this blimp. This blimp needs to reach the town hall, and it does not. Judo, what is going on? Is this not only a defense, but as well like a 1-star or something?
He has the Royal Champion, Itsu. So there she gets deployed from the bottom of the base. He knew that he had to have the Royal Champion. I'm a little bit worried that he might have deployed the Royal Champion too quick. Is she going to bypass the Town Hall? He has one Inferno Dragon on it. Nice freeze to get the Town Hall and the Ground Expo to help protect the Royal Champion. A couple of Inferno Dragons get to that Town Hall. Super fortunate, actually. It was looking scary. But can he finish this one off? Because he still has the Royal Champion ability.
Royal Champion ability is going to finish off this last air defense, which means the Inferno Dragons are going to do even more work. And with the last couple of skeletons getting spawned, this is somehow still to finish off on a triple. That was really scary, I have to admit, especially like thinking that I would do the attack. I feel like my heart would pump like, oh my god, this would go crazy. So really, really good job on keeping the...
Be interested to see what they do on response here. Maybe it is just a case of seeing who feels they can 3-star the base. But here is the response. It is the Super Witches, as we've seen in the last war. It's he lost a healer straight away to a Black Farm. Not what is needed.
Oh, and I know that some people are always making fun of me for remembering somehow most of the bases, but I feel like this top left side, I somehow saw this already somewhere. So maybe the Unicorns of Love are doing something which MCS normally really loves to do. So they're copying common bases, and then they're baiting the common entries, which is something really clever to do, especially on the pro level where you do not have too much time to rethink your options. So maybe we're going to see even more Black Mines. Let's see if this entry is completely trapped with Black Mines. There's the second trap mine, as I said, and he needs to use those Coco-Loons so nicely to protect his healers, to make sure that he's not losing all of them right in the beginning. And now even the Warden at the Eagle is saying, healers, this will be your last day, kinda.
Well, I talked in that last breakdown about the importance of the healers. He's already lost 2. What I love about this is that we interviewed the players prior to this tournament, and Shek said that he watches YouTube to try and find the popular bases and beat them. So it's really interesting that you said that, Itsu, about trapping the important bases. Now, fortunately, he has not lost any more healers. We've got the Super Witches moving to the Town Hall. Maybe he can spin this one around. It's difficult to predict, especially with that scatter shot to the left-hand side. Valkyries may struggle because they do go for the Archer Queen.
That's right, we have now the Warden ability still left. That's the important thing about those Super Witches, that you have the power of the Warden ability in that core. He has no freezes whatsoever left in this army composition, which means those witches need to power through the core, and his Royal Champion has not too much support on that back end. Warden ability is still not used, he's still holding on that, now using the Warden ability, and then the Queen is getting tanked nicely. The Scatter is still shooting, maybe the Royal Champ on that, yep, there we go. And now he's still waiting with that jump. He's trying to jump into the back end, trying to have his Super Witches beat through that first wall. But so far, this plan is not working out that great for him.
It's not, because he only has 40 seconds remaining. He was a little bit stuck with the Royal Champion because he could have sent her in to take the scatter shot earlier, but he knew the Super Witches could take a shot from the scatter shot, and if he sent the Royal Champion in, she would do exactly what she's doing now, just run ahead and be unprotected. But ultimately, he had to take the jump at some point. 20 seconds remaining with only 80% of the base not even destroyed, and it is going to be a time factor here if nothing else. I think he needs to send these troops in, Itsu, to try and get extra percentage.
Especially this Bitterheart at 10 o'clock, like no one is calling him that, and I don't think the minion is going to be enough. He needs to invest in Wizard as well. This is like 1 second now left, and he didn't even use all of his minions. So, not sure, 83%. and that's not the percent you're going for.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
We saw in the end. So this is going to be rough, and we have the next attack coming in.
Oh, it's the regular witches this time, but we have the super giants alongside this. So let's see how he decides to go about this. Lightning spells for the Expos initially. Gets a bit of damage onto that scatter shot. Is he sending the Royal Champion in here as well, Itsu? Interesting. Starts with a
Go
balloon.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, starts with a balloon. I'm interested as to where he's going here, because we did see the lightning spell at one side of the base and then almost flipped to the other side with the witches. So it looks like he's going to be attacking from the southeast side and trying to set the funnel to the left-hand side of the town hall to hopefully help his witches keep on track through the base here.
Just keep going.
Do see that log launcher pushing through, getting extra damage onto the Eagle artillery. We've got a good path now for the witches. I'm interested to see where the Royal Champion will move off to, because we do have the single target Inferno down to the bottom of the base. Super Giants punching their way all of the way through in combination with that log launcher, and look at the damage onto the town hall already. Fantastic stuff. The log launcher is pretty much going to finish that off. It does. The Super Giants making sure that the witches are well protected, but there's a lot of outside base here. The Royal Champion has to finish things off. He's got lots of freeze spells, but I'm not sure if he's got the force to get through. Let's find out. With that multi-target Inferno, the witches will start to take a little bit of damage. Royal Champion not really having a lot of support here, but with the scatter shot to the top, the ability goes off, and she can help with the witches, but they've gone down fast to the scatter shot. We're going to have to see if he can time the freeze spells perfectly, because we've still got 4 freeze spells. Got to use them perfectly. There's one of them for the Royal Champion, but she's got nothing for support because the Queen is stuck to the top of the base. He's not going to be able to get through. I feel like the freeze spells could have been used sooner there as well for the Royal Champion. A little bit stuck, and we will have to see the percentage. Now, we've got to remember that Wahaha only had 78%. So this is a higher percentage nevertheless, but it does give a little bit of an opportunity as the Archer Queen moves towards the multi-target Inferno. We're getting further. I think the Queen's ability has to be popped any moment here to push that percentage, because we still have 3 freeze spells. Trying to save anything. There we go. Oh, he wanted the archers around the Archer Queen to be protected. Missed the freeze spell. I think with 3 of them left in the pocket, he could have played it a little bit safer. And time really becoming the factor here, because the buildings were virtually down if the freeze spell had been used. But a 93% is pretty good for Unicorns of Love. They keep the momentum moving, but it does give an opportunity to Wahaha, who are going to be looking to respond. Now, we did pick up on whether the top experienced players that we've seen in last year's World Championships would be attacking. And we will have to find out whether they will attack next to try and respond to the slip-up of Unicorns of Love, or whether they will be waiting in the wings for the end. Because if you can have a strong finish, that could be the difference. But remember, here in the World's Warm-Up Tournament, it is a best of 1 throughout the entire tournament, right of the way up until the finals. So you can't wait too long. The teams have to put up every single thing that they can. And here we go, 25 plus. One of their experienced players coming in with the hybrid. Let's see if he can get this one done. Using the Queen to charge towards the town hall. Already got the funnel set up nicely. We know how good he is with this. I've even seen him use invisibility spells to send the hybrid exactly where he needed. Queen charging towards the town hall, and it looks like he's trying to crack directly into the center of the base here. Itsu, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a surprise. So So far, the attack is looking really good. Queen charging the town are obviously a huge thing. We always talk about the warden ability, one of the strongest things when it comes down to hero abilities. And this is now getting safe because he does not need to use that for the town hall, but the queen now is in danger with a lot of damage on her. The hybrid is starting from that left side. The king is engaging that with the scatter behind. This is a scary situation, so he's doing nicely, or he's reacting nicely with that warden ability. And now we have with the super minions doing some work, and they're not in that poison.
Little bit unfortunate. He doesn't have a lot to adapt here. He could have maybe used the freeze spell onto them and the Eagle Artillery, but he does have a heal straight onto that area to try and protect the troops. We do have some miners on the inside of the base to that multi-target Inferno. We see the Tornado Trap, which catches the Royal Champion, and this is a tough one to call. As we move to the back end of the base, we still have a freeze spell, and if it's timed perfectly, I think he could get this one.
It's 50 seconds left, and it's all about this Royal Champion. If this Royal Champion is doing like a nice decision-making now in the back end and is going for the single Inferno Tower quickly, it could be still possible. I feel like he's going for the freeze for this back and going for the percentage. He's saying like right now, okay, I need a lot of luck right now to get into that single because this is now the next target. He needs to get that single down quickly. Otherwise, the Royal Champion has no chance. And the single Inferno Tower is with full HP in there, which means the Royal Champion is going to go down. And this, at this point, is going to be a time fail because the Royal Champion had to stay alive to provide all of the damage to the back end. But with only having the Warden left, this is going to be a high percentage fail for Wahaha, even though they needed the 3-star so badly.
Yeah, if he could have kept his Royal Champion alive, maybe he might have had a little bit of a chance. 25 plus. The Hybrid Expert as well. That's pretty much the entire strategy that he uses. It's not the response they needed. Unicorns of Love did slip up to a degree and got the 2-star in the last attack, but Wahaha not able to respond and get the 3-star. So it is Unicorns of Love that remain that 1-star ahead at this point, Itsu.
That's right, and that was one of the experienced players, right? So those are the players normally which should give you some freedom and some more room to work with. And having one of those guys failing is obviously a huge thing for the team. So let's see how they can react. I mean, so far, their defense is doing okay-ish as well. So they do not have too much pressure on them since Unicorns of Love did not triple as well. So it's still doable. But let's see. I mean, with the next attack of Unicorns of Love, they could put up a lot of pressure because if they triple now, Wahaha feels like, okay, we have to triple to be even one triple behind. And this is obviously not the best feeling. Like, there are better situations to be in. And we have Toto coming in. And this is another Queen Charge Hybrid. So after seeing a lot of Inferno Dragons, now we see a lot of Hybrid.
Yeah, it's interesting that the teams are coming at the bases with totally different strategies, and I am super happy to see such variety in the meta. The Queen is going very low on health, and the ability is used, Itsu. Despite the rage spell, the ability goes off, and that could be crucial for such a ambitious Queen charge, because it does look he's trying to charge her right up towards the Scattershot and the Eagle.
Yeah, and I feel like this iteration is the best where you can talk about finally about those open walls, right? They look so strange. Like, why would you open up your base at the corners? Like, what is the reason behind that? And the reasoning behind that is that somehow the Queen sometimes ignores those. And with having those walls as well, those open walls, wall breaker are getting messed up. Like, you never know where the wall breaker is going because it always depends on how many walls are there in the line and everything. So this is the reason why we have so many open walls. But he is now starting with a hybrid. And to be honest, hybrid does not care about open walls. They would just go under them or above them and go in for the next Inferno Tower.
Queen stuck in the middle here, taking a lot of damage. Oh, she gets the Scattershot, survives, but the Expo takes her down. How crucial will that be? Can he get anything onto the Eagle Artillery? I see a baby dragon. Maybe he can deploy that a little bit late, or the miners will split off. Now, any mind, Toto has a ton of experience. He has a YouTube channel himself, and we have seen him so much within the competitive scene. But he's struggling a little bit here, Itsu, getting caught up on a ton of defenses to the top. Meanwhile, we have the Scattershot smashing into the hybrid, and it's definitely slowing down in momentum towards the back end of the attack here.
Yeah, the Scatter is doing so much splash damage, and there is no heal spell left, but those healers that switched over from the Queen Charge to the Hybrid, and they are doing an amazing work of keeping those troops alive. Now the back end with the Paper Dragon to take some more buildings out. The Royal Champion still has her ability left, and this could be still a thing. The Royal Champion, everything is tanking for her, so this is nice. The Warden, in addition to that, is providing some more damage. And with the Royal Champion ability, Judo, I think we have the next piece on our hand if this is enough time for finishing everything off. But we have even the sneaky Goblin to finish off the storage, which is kind of deep into the base. But with the Royal Champion ability, which is getting used right now, this is going to be the next 3-star for Unicorns of Love, and they are keeping the pressure high.
Fantastic stuff. I love the fact that he saved the Royal Champion's ability. It would have been so tempting to use it whilst Hog Riders and Miners were still alive, but he knew with the healers, as long as he could keep the Royal Champion herself alive, she could finish off the final defenses, getting another 3-star. And you said before the attack, Itsu, that if they did that, the pressure was well and truly on Wahaha. We are now halfway through the war, and they need a 3-star now, because if they don't, they are pretty much going to run out of time to pull it back.
That's right, they need to get this 3-star in, getting the percent and the stars on their side, or at least making it closer again, because Unicorns of Love so far have a pretty decisive lead. And one thing which I would love to talk about, because that was the case in this attack, is the Queen Charge Hybrid and the healers are switching. Sometimes for Queen Charge Hybrid, it might be even better for the Queen to die eventually. And the healers are going to transition over, because on Hybrid, most of the time we have the Hogs, or especially the Miners on the back end, stacked up. And the healers are not healing single targets, they're always healing like an area. And this is so strong with, for example, P.E.K.K.A Smash or other troops, especially Hybrid. And that's what we saw a couple of seconds ago, and now we have the next attack with Super Witches, and this one is going to be even a bigger Witch Hybrid, because we have 3 Super Witches and 4 normal ones, so this one's going to be a crazy one.
And it is B, another one of their experienced attackers. I think this is a wise choice because they have to get that 3-star, as we mentioned. I like the fact that he started the Grand Warden to just take out a couple of buildings before he then used his lightning spells in the base. I did mention that often this is the combination we do see for the Super Witches, because they don't really need too much support moving through the base either. So often the lightning spells can give you that advantage moving into the attack and the funneling within the base, Itsu.
That's right, and slowly but surely the witches are getting started, but this gold storage, that might be a big problem depending on how the witches go, and the first witch is already kind of getting distracted by this, and this witch is getting completely, obliterated by the eagle shots and the scatter, and now we have the witches and the super witches slowly making it into the town hall. So he's not splitting them up, but he's making sure everything is walking in. The Warden ability needs to be used soon. Oh, come on, use that Warden ability to make sure.
The healers are stuck with one witch. They've moved across to the main thing, but yeah, the main pack rather. But yes, the Grand Warden not quite able to use that ability early there. Super Witches do get through the Town Hall, but losing one of them so early on in the attack, Itsu, can be a big deal, because you actually need them to just continue spawning the skeletons to give you that momentum moving through the base.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what the next plan is looking like, because so far it kind of looked like he wanted to save the jump spell, but he wanted to jump into the core, but he was not able to because nothing was beating that wall, so he had to redirect his witches and the super witches, and this is what he just did. The Warden ability still not used though, so he has 1 super witch and 2 witches in that core. So the question is that even close to being enough for finishing off this base? Because if you're completely honest, and the Warden just jumping in front of everything, it feels not like this could be actually a 3-star. What do you think?
Ooh. Yeah, the Royal Champion was locked onto the Grand Warden, ended up taking him down. So I don't think he's going to get this one now. Only 40 seconds left, a ton of base. He will keep going forward. That is one of the things you have to do as a pro player and as any Clash of Clans player, to be fair. Even if you are in any type of attack, you really need to keep going until the end, doing anything you can to adjust percentage and give you the best possible outcome. He is trying to do that, but the Royal Champion's struggling now. We've got one Super Witch alive, but still taking damage. RC ability now goes off. I feel that might have been a little bit late, but he didn't really have anything to clean up those buildings that are now free either. So it's slipping away from Wahaha here. They are 2 stars behind Unicorns of Love, which means if Unicorns of Love were to 3-star in the next attack, Itsu, they are pretty much moving forward, because they would then have to fail on their last attack and get a 1-star in order to give Wahaha any opportunity here.
That's right. And we can see at the bottom of our screen as well the percentage. It's not only the stars, but as well as the percentage. So let's say Unicorns of Love somehow is messing up 1 or 2 attacks in the next 2. As long as it's still like a decent percentage, they have still everything in control. So they're doing really good on offense and defense. We said that in the beginning of the stream. Clash of Clans is not only about attacking. It's not only all about attacking. It's about defending as well. Reading your opponent, baiting your opponent. And so far, Unicorns of Love did an amazing job of that. And this attack is looking like I'm watching into my Legend League defensive log.
We have the Super Giant and Witch attack. Just a very quick deployment from the southeast side of the base, getting all mixed up there. We do have a similar strategy to the Inferno Dragons, I would say, in its deployment, with the log launcher moving through the center. And we basically have a self-funnel. You're trying to allow some of the witches to funnel the outside so that a group of them and your heroes can move through the center of the base. And it's a very quick start here, Itsu.
Yeah, but Judo, what is the safety you have to get the town hall? I feel like on Inferno Dragons, yes, you have like the blimp or something, but he is going all in. He's going all in, but I feel like maybe that's the right choice. And having this multi backend isn't as threatening as some other options maybe. But right now he's struggling with the clan castle, but the witches, I can't even count how many witches are still alive. And the giants did a great job in the beginning. There's even a couple of them still alive. And the king ability is still not used. So Judo, this is looking insanely good right now. And now we have the Royal Champion. As I said, if you have a multi-Inferno Tower on the back end, that's no problem for a Royal Champ. A single Inferno Tower, that's what's really dangerous. And this attack right now is looking crazy. What are we seeing right now?
We are seeing a fantastically overpowering attack. I love the fact that the Royal Champion was saved until he knew that the King and Queen were going to go in towards the Town Hall area. That then allowed him to use the Royal Champion for the multi-target Inferno at the top of the base. I think he was saving onto the RC just in case. A risky plan B, arguably, with all of the defenses by the Town Hall. But sometimes you have to take the risk to get the 3-star, and that is exactly what we see here as he came in from the opposite side of the base, but it paid off to take out every single defense so cleanly. A 3-star puts Unicorns of Love ever so closer to moving on to tomorrow's round, Itsu. Fantastic attack.
This was just such a crazy attack, going all in. Like, I don't even know. I can't even, like, this was so risky. Using the siege machine so early, I mean, this is obviously how the strategy works, but this can backfire a lot, and especially considering that they had everything in their own hands. It was a risky call, but in the end it paid off and made build up even more pressure for Wahaha, because they now really need to double, triple to still even have a chance of staying in this match, because so far Unicorns of Love are being on fire. It is really impressive. In attacks like this, it's really hard to control sometimes. And as you said, it was like the self-funnel of those witches. And then the log launcher, I feel like it's so under, like, it should be way more like used. Yeah, like you can use it way more. It's such a strong siege machine. So really good job of using that. And the next 3-star, I mean, was worth it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting approach because they do have a couple of stars, so arguably they could take a little bit of a riskier move. But like you said, as long as they got it done in that attack, they've pretty much won the war, surely, because it's very hard for Wahaha to come back now. So it is interesting that they took such a risky play, but sometimes that is what you need. You don't get to the top without some level of risk. So maybe we we will be seeing Unicorns of Love progressing through this tournament a little bit further than some people might have predicted. We did mention on the COC Esports Twitter page that there was the bracket put out for predictions, and I don't think many people seen Unicorns of Love going too far, but let's see if Wahaha can respond here. It's a Lava Loon attack, and again we see that Ice Hound, Itsu.
Yeah, I just love the Ice Hound. The Ice Hound is such a cool addition to Clash of Clans. Now let's see how exactly he's going to try to use that. So far he's trying to like trigger a couple of traps, getting this blimp to the Town Hall, making sure that he's getting that out of the way. So let's see if that works. A couple of the sneaky goblins were getting spring trapped away right away. Freezing now, where I'm not really sure about if it was actually worth it, because the enemy queen is like, well, nothing happened to her, so I feel like he already kind of, not misused, but I feel like it wasn't really needed at that point. But now he's safely taking out the clan castle, and then he's going to charge into that base. One thing which we need to highlight is he has 2 wall breakers and a jump spell, so we want to get really, really far with that queen charge.
Yeah, but every spell does matter, so although it is only 1 free spell, and yes, he can absolutely still get the 3 stars, I think you're absolutely right to pick up on that, because it could come costly, especially with a Lava Loon attack, when you have multi-target Infernos and you need to protect the balloons. We see the Super Wall Breaker coming in, and notice there is already a bit of a funnel created past that building, which I think he's wanting the king into that most eastern compartment, which is absolutely where he goes. This is a beautiful start to the attack, Itsu, as the queen moves directly into the compartment with the multi, and the king moves to the compartment with the air defense. I love this.
This is such a clean queen charge so far. He's going to jump into that core, so we can reach the enemy scatter, enemy multi-inferno tower, enemy queen, and even the enemy royal champion if he has enough power with his queen. There is the jump, there is the freeze, really nicely done, and he has 1 rage left. He's starting with the Lalo right away. He's saying, okay, I cannot wait any longer for my queen. Time is an issue otherwise, and we have only 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and the Lalo is approaching that base slowly. Warden ability to block the scatter, to block the eagle shots, and now something needs to take down the scatter, otherwise we all know it. Loons are not that tanky, especially against the scatter shot.
That could be where the freeze spell comes in. I have to say, I loved the use of that Ice Hound. It did get so much value. An Air Defense, Royal Champion, Eagle, and Grand Warden's Altar was frozen. There is the freeze spell onto the scatter. He doesn't have any other freeze spells now. This is where we see how crucial that spell could have been. He does take it down. RC moves through. He's still got the queen with the ability, but time could be a factor here as well, Itsu, because there's only 30 seconds left. It's too difficult to call, but the RC going down could be the difference.
Warden and Queen still having her ability. There are even more minions coming across from the right side. We have minions working at the bottom side with those headhunters together, and now it's all about when he's using that Queen ability. Queen ability is getting used. Can they reach all of those buildings? The builder huts are in reach. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Can this be still a 3-star for Sisu? Can he save his team? And this one is going to be a 3-star Judo. Oh my god, this was such a good last second finish. That was just crazy. The headhunters being really the MVP of this one and being able to help with that clear. That was really, really crazy.
On the buzzer, right as he was about to hit 0 seconds left, that is when the 3-star came in. Talk about a perfectly planned attack, right? I mean, I was getting a little bit nervous. I think he should have potentially used the queen ability a little bit earlier, give him a little bit more leeway, but maybe he just wanted to intensify the stream for us, get us really hooked at the end of the attack there. But we do still have Unicorns of Love ready to finish this one off. As many 3-stars as Wahaha get, Unicorns of Love do have to slip up at this point because they've been ever so impressive to the first half of this war, Itsu.
Yeah, they're doing really great work so far, and yeah, Wahaha is really struggling, especially against those bases put up from Unicorns of Love. So I feel like obviously it's always easy to say, yeah, those attacks were like not that good, or like there were some mistakes in there. But I feel like we should definitely highlight the base building of Unicorns of Love because they're so good so far. And we have already the next attack coming in for Vado, and he is coming in with that Queen Charge hybrid with the blimp taking out already the top compartment where Scatter was in there. And then I guess there's going to be the hybrid from the 9 o'clock side into that multi-inferno tower, and then that town hall is the next on the menu. But let's see, it's going to be depending on what is in there in the clan castle, and if the queen is actually going the right way where he wants her to go.
Ooh, it's a difficult call here, but I do like the quick deployment of the hybrid to try and just force the queen into the inside of the base there. You do see headhunters coming out, but it looks like he's got that well in control. And this channel moving through the base is often a good area to charge your queen if you can get her in there. So Unicorns of Love recognizing that, getting the queen right into the center, and that almost creates a natural funnel now for the hybrid to keep swooping around the perimeter of the base.
That's right, the bomb tower is being kind of scary right now. He needs to heal, like, just to make sure everything is staying alive. But the queen can reach so many things from this channel. This is just so crazy with the queen can reaching everything. But this back and scatter and the eagle, obviously, are really scary as well. He has 2 freezes left, just to make sure that he can support his heroes. The Royal Champ needs to use her abilities soon. The question now is this enough to somehow take down the backhand? He has 1 minute left, and maybe the queen on her own can already finish off this base.
A beautiful freeze spell, I think, there to hit both the cannon and the multi. It allowed the Royal Champion just enough time to finish it off. To be honest, I think it has done him a favor, the queen being stuck in the inside of the base, because hopefully it means that she can move to the back end here with the hybrid. I thought she was attacking the other piece of wall that would have given her direct access to the eagle, so not quite what he needed, but I do think he should have enough miners to finish this one off. Itsu with a couple of balloons as well. He can't really deploy them because of the air defense, but it doesn't really matter. He's got enough strength to move through. It is a fantastic performance by Unicorns of Love, and it puts this war out of reach. Wahaha can try and get another 3-star, pick up their confidence, but it is Unicorns of Love that will be progressing in the tournament.
Yeah, offense and defense, so impressive from Unicorns of Love. And, well, that attack was perfect execution when it comes down to Queen Charge Hybrid. You want to create this pathing for the hybrid. That's the most important thing about the strategy. And if you're able to accomplish this, this attack is going to crush any base. And that's exactly what Wado did right there. Really nice. It was really nicely waiting for the Royal Champion and the Headhunter to combine that for the enemy king in the backhand. So that was really nicely done. I feel like Headhunters are really, could be used more often against enemy heroes, especially in Hybrid, because Hybrid is kind of weak against burst damage, like heavy damage to the troops. You can't heal against that. If there's enemy queen shooting on your miners or hogs, you can't heal through that. So Headhunters are key to get through those enemy heroes if you do not want to invest every single time of free. So really nicely done. And that was a perfect Queen Charge Hybrid, I would say.
Definitely, and I have heard you mention all of that on your YouTube channel, Itsu, in terms of the headhunters, and I've personally tried to integrate more into my hybrid attacks as well because of you saying that. Just because if the queen can one-shot your troops, then the heal is useless. But here we go with the final attack. I'd say he got pretty good value from the lightning spell there. A lot of defenses clumped together, and is that something he's trying to create funneling for the dragons here as well?
I mean, yeah, the pathing for the dragons is always kind of the key. Dragons are kind of the air version of hybrid, basically, because it's all about that pathing. And now, let's see, it's a ton of ground expos, which we can see right now. And those ground expos, I mean, kind of easy to understand, but they're not doing that much damage against those dragons in the air. Now we have a mass Headhunter CC coming out of that clan castle. The dragons are able to finish that off before it's actually reaching that warden, but just in case, he's freezing at the top limb. Did not make it to the tower, needs to freeze, needs to make sure this tower needs to go down. The dragons are not supposed to take that down. The dragon with that rage together, with those dunes, are taking it down, and that was really, really important.
Got a little bit fortunate there for sure with the town hall going down because the dragons were stuck on the bottom of the base. They were not going anywhere near the town hall. But now things look a little bit different. With him able to use the RC across the right-hand side of the base, the Royal Champion able to take down that air defense, it just protects their dragons that little bit more. And notice the gap in the wall to the top area of the base as well. That is perfectly planned by Manta, wanting to send his heroes into that. But can he get the dragons to swoop back around? I don't think he needs to, actually, Itsu. He has crushed this base. Heroes into that center of the base. What a fantastic attack using the dragons. I've got to say, I wasn't quite expecting that. What a brilliant one to finish off this war. Wow.
That was such a cool way to ending this match, because we have the dragons and he perfectly works around that base. Unicorns of Love being the winner though.